Okay, so here's the pitch. You open up your shiny new Switch 2, you turn it on for the first time, and you're just immediately playing Animal Crossing.
I don't understand. You don't pick your game? What if I want to play something that isn't Animal Crossing? Hypothetically, what if I wanted to play a different game? I'd have to go back to the home menu every time?
No, that's the whole point. Animal Crossing is the home menu. You set up all your games and apps in your house, and that's where you launch them from. You can organize and display them however you want across multiple rooms, and decorate them with toys and art just like we do with our physical collections.
Oh, I get it. It's like an Animal Crossing themed home menu.
No. This is the next complete, fully realized main series Animal Crossing game. It has everything you'd want from Animal Crossing. Rossetti is there, and you can breed flowers and fall in love with anthropomorphic cat boys. It just happens to also be how you load your other games. Here's a hypothetical house tour. The first room has all my favorites laid out, so when I have visitors, they know what I'm all about. They'll take one step in and say, "Ah yes, a man of culture." In the corner is the game I'm currently playing, for easy access and as a conversation starter. And in the back, I'll have a TV that has links to all my streaming services. Go to the room to the left and find a room dedicated to Metroid, my very favorite. The idea is you could pop the classics out from the various NSO apps to make dedicated shortcuts and put them alongside Metroid Dread and Metroid Prime 4, and then fill the rest of the space with cool Metroid stuff for the immersion. The room on the right has a bunch of other series I like, but to save space, they've all been combined into folders that take the form of bookshelves and cabinets. Nintendo could give us decorations for all their series to complete the look, and they could probably talk third parties into making some stuff too. And then, in the room in the back, we've got more cabinets with genres that I like to play, so I can go straight to the category that I'm in the mood for.
That's cool, but I kind of like my regular cozy Animal Crossing house.
I mean, sure, I get that. Maybe they could add a new building to the island, like a library, that just has a whole bunch of space to customize and arrange to your heart's content. Or you could put them outside. Put all your cozy gardening games in your actual garden. That could be fun.
What are you doing to my brain right now? What are the home menus on the current consoles? I can't even picture them right now.
That's because they're basically nothing. All four are a list of your recently played games from left to right with as little personality as possible.
I mean, that makes sense. Keep it minimalist so you can get to your next game as quickly as possible.
I mean, it makes sense if you think of video games as very serious business to be consumed with robotic precision.
True fun demands ruthless efficiency.
But aren't video games, by their nature, a little silly? Even the ones that take themselves very seriously are about leveling up to make your punches punchier. Would it be such a crime to approach them with a little whimsy?
There have been more creative menus before. That was a question. Have there been?
Oh, yeah, there are lots of great examples.
Are there 3 categories? Because that would be a really good structure for a YouTube video.
The 3 categories of fun menus in video games. Menus of mystery, artistic canvases, and living spaces.
The first one. Start with the first one.
First category, menus of mystery.
Ooh, mysterious.
So these function very much like regular menus, but they're designed to be a little more interactive and engaging. Like, take a look at the GameCube system menu. Just getting here feels like you've unlocked an incredible secret. Or consider the Game Boy Camera.
Oh, I'm considering it.
On the surface, Game Boy Camera is a pretty basic tool for taking low-res black and white photos. But the menus are so bizarre and delightful that it feels like a game. Everywhere you look and every button you press leads you to discover more features in yet another inexplicable menu. That's what makes it so memorable.
Game Boy Camera even has a menu that is itself an arcade space shooter. Like literally. This one menu is a sequel to a 1979 arcade game. Oh, I got another one. Remember those early PlayStation demo discs? They had like all kinds of codes and hidden menus to unlock secret content. They just show up in your mailbox every month with new demos. But the games were always overshadowed by the secrets in the menus. Except, obviously, for Parappa the Rapper.
Punch, punch, punch! Next category.
Category 2. Category 2. Artistic canvases. So here we're talking about menus that provide the user with such a high degree of customization that the act of organizing your games becomes a creative expression. Think of the Nintendo 3DS home screen.
Oh yeah! I remember it started out pretty basic, like I just grouped my game series together, but then they added badges and I turned those into little dioramas. Man, organizing my home screen was my favorite 3DS game.
So back on Xbox 360, there was this thing called Game Room that let you buy classic arcade games and then decorate them in your own giant arcade complex. I always thought that this should just be the Xbox interface. Why is this limited to just arcade games? Why can't I set up a room to display the Fable trilogy? Or a shrine to worship Silicon Knight's magnum opus, Too Human?
Bring it on home! Last category!
Category 3, Living Spaces.
This is any menu that you navigate by moving through a physical space. It can be as simple as running around a giant brain on the Psychonauts title screen, or as complex as platforming through a pre-alpha build of Sonic Adventure to watch Japanese commercials in Sonic Jam.
Oh, I got one. Nintendo Land. Walking to all the games in a big plaza instead of picking them from a list makes it feel less like a minigame collection and more like an actual theme park. Because the rides at Disney World are great, but walking between them is an equally important part of that experience. There's Minnie Mouse, there's Lilo and Stitch, there's Emperor Bullblacks. It's great!
One of Nintendo's earliest platform menus was the Satellaview, a broadcast satellite modem from a 1995 collaboration with a company known for nature sound recordings that I cannot believe is real. It downloaded games over the radio or something? Anyway, the home menu was an RPG where you walk between different buildings in a city to access the different features.
Oh my god, the Satellaview menu is called The Story of the Town Whose Name Was Stolen, and that is the best news I have ever received.
Wait a minute, did you say nature sounds?
One game selection screen that is both an artistic canvas and a living space is the original GameCube Animal Crossing. I definitely had a room in my house with a bunch of playable NES games lined up. The NES games weren't really the point of the game, but I think we all spent plenty of time holed up in our basement playing Balloon Fight and Clu Clu Land.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Animal Crossing was already a game select menu 20 years ago. If you wanted to ignore all your neighbors and play NES games all day, the game never punishes you for it. If they could make it load instantly, using a full Animal Crossing game as a place to launch the rest of your Switch 2 games actually makes total sense.
But hold on. Joy is one thing, but today I can load a game in 5 seconds. This sounds like it'll take more like 11 seconds. An unacceptable 120% loss in productivity!
Okay, fine. There could also be like a quick menu or whatever if you're that dedicated to not having fun. Actually, that would solve some of the other problems. Like if you buy more games than you could reasonably display. You could put out some fancy open world games when you have company over and leave your Galgun anthology in the shame closet.
I really like the idea of placing digital games in a virtual space. That could bring back some of that physicality that's been missing from digital games. We're always talking about how picking game ROMs from a menu is taking away some of that magic we used to get from picking a game out of a physical space.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I have taken the liberty of hiding your NES ROMs on your EverDrive inside a haunted house text adventure.
Okay. That is the best news I've ever received. Large gate. A massive iron gate blocks your path. 12 feet tall, secured with a chain and padlock. The gate sits at the center of a formidable stone wall. Behind you lies the dark wooded trail that's brought you here. A wolf's howl rings in the distance.
Pretty spooky. Better call out for help.
You listen hopefully for a reply, and hear only your own voice echoed back. A moment passes. And then with a mechanical clank, the ground drops out from under you. A trap door! You find yourself sliding down a cold metal tube.
A trap door? No way! Stop your descent!
You brace yourself against the sides of the chute with your feet, effectively stopping your descent. The tube is dark, and you can't see anything, but you can feel air coming through the vent to your right.
This metal chute is bad news. Let's crack that vent open.
You successfully pry open the vent and emerge into a cold, darkened room. You feel around and find plain brick walls, a hard floor, a few damp boxes, and a heavy metal door.
The boxes. Open the boxes!
The box contains a handheld electronic device. You're unfamiliar with its use, but flipping a switch illuminates a screen that lights the room. There are stacks of unmarked boxes blocking an open hallway across from the metal door.
I never go halfway on boxes. Open more boxes!
You open box after box of your own childhood toys, pondering how they got here. You're clearly at the center of this strange plot, but you can't imagine its purpose. Your mind races as you rip open a box of familiar carts. Oh my god, these are all my childhood games. How did they get here? What does it mean? Is that RoboCop?